Hey, this is your friendly neighborhood Manny Moonraker, and welcome to episode 112. Somebody cue the music. Hey, welcome to the show. This is Manny Moonraker again. Let me just remind you who I am, because I am what I am no matter what anybody says. This is the UFO Report. This is where we talk about news related to UFOs, ufology, and anything that has to do with little green men, or gray, or reptilian, or whatever you want to call them. Whatever floats your boat, that's what they're going to be. This is a discussion today about, things we got to handle, basically. We got to handle up on some stuff. Because the Levelland mini documentary has been uploaded to YouTube. I know I'm a week late. As a matter of fact, I even say that in the documentary on YouTube. But what's happening is a lot of people are not following me and they don't know. So now you know. Now you are in the know, as they say. And as G.I. Joe would say, knowing is half the battle. The other half is following me on social media. Follow me on Twitter at UFO Buster Radio. On the Facebook pages, Manny Moonraker and UFO Buster Radio. And, of course, on Instagram, at Manny Moonraker. Oh, and don't forget, also Google Plus, Manny Moonraker. Because if you would have done that, you would have known that yesterday I uploaded the video, the mini documentary that I've been talking about, which I'm a week late because I went on vacation again, regarding Levelland, Texas, and the UFO. And you want to see it because I come to a very interesting conclusion regarding that UFO incident in 1957 and some stuff we heard about last year. But I do want to give a shout out to Dennis out of the Netherlands, because Dennis was on the spot. As they say, he was there for UFO Buster Radio, and Dennis actually shared it on his Facebook from YouTube. If you want to support the podcast, that's the way you do it. You share it. You like it. You subscribe. You get your people. You get your dogs. You get your cats, your fish. You get anyone that you can to listen to the podcast. I mean, come on. Just tell them. Just give them like about 5 episodes. For God's sake, stop being a rubber dicker and just download the damn podcast. And if you don't want to do that, play it on Alexa. The damn thing shows up on Alexa too. If you got an Alexa, if you can't afford an Alexa, watch it on TV. You have a smart TV or dumb TV, it doesn't even matter. The shit shows up on TV too. So just, basically get the word out. That's what I need. I need people to get the word out. And I appreciate every single one of you that does it, just like Dennis the Menace from the Netherlands. And the best thing about Dennis is we were chatting back and forth on YouTube. And he actually used one of my favorite terms. And you guys who have been listening for a while know that I refer to Robert Bigelow as the space gigolo. And he used that term. I mean, come on. It's kind of like, rubber dickers. It's catching on. Robert Deuce Bigelow, the space gigolo. I mean, how can you not like that? It's perfect. It's perfect for him. He's like a little pimp, kind of. On top of that, another piece of news we need to talk about is that we are still in it for the 2018 Podcast Awards, and I need you guys to go into that link in the description and nominate me under the categories of news, which is UFO News Report, because no fucks were given, and also for the People's Choice Award, because you are the people, you are the blue-collar workers who are giving no fucks about this topic and are tired of getting rubber-dicked by anyone that's holding on to information basically from you, by people like, Deuce Bigelow, the Space Gigolo. So there you go. Support the podcast in those 2 ways. You can do it. I don't even want your money. I don't need you to buy any t-shirts, which are coming soon, by the way. But I don't need you to buy t-shirts. I don't need you to buy backpacks and mugs and shit like that. I just need you to spread the word. That's how we get this going. Now, I'm going to warn you right now that the Levelland, Texas mini documentary, which is called, because it's only 10 minutes, you only have to give 10 minutes up of your life in order to support the podcast and keep on listening. That's all you got to do. well, you gotta subscribe to and like and share and all that other nonsense. But you can do it in a matter of 15 minutes. Just get on there, support the podcast. It is not Steven Spielberg. I did not create the next Star Wars. What I did was I kind of put my foot in the water to kind of test it and see it. It was pretty good. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't horrible. Unfortunately, there was a rainstorm on the horizon and there was barely any sunlight. So you'll see it's not exactly, filmed in a professional way. And I couldn't find a way to keep the traffic from interfering as well. But those are the two things. Those are the two asks that I'm doing. I mean, there's another one, but that's coming later. But I'm asking from you guys. That's all I need. I need a vote. I need a nomination. And I need someone to, pull themselves up by the big girl panties and click on these links in the description. Or just look for UFO Buster Radio on YouTube. Or, you can also, while you're at it, just go ahead and vote. Because I need that nomination. I got to show people that we mean business around here. We don't have elephantitis of the balls for no reason. There's a reason why the nads are that big. So we're going to talk about one more thing. And it's important. It's important to many of you to be, kind of be interactive. Be part of this whole ufology and disclosure thing. It's important to many of you that you make a mark in some way. Some of you decided to join the space people. You know who you are, the Asher Bailey crew. You wanted to be an Asgardian, so you put your money into Asgardia. And their, space station is coming sometime in the future sometime. Another bunch of you decided to support, Tom DeLonghi and his Blink-182 retirement to the Stars Academy, and you took some of your hard-earned, blue-collar money, and you put it into that as well. Which, if you look at the picture for this particular episode, I might have a picture of him giving everybody the bird. I don't know how I'm going to get it to the podcast because it's on my phone, but he basically was giving people on Instagram the double bird because he says he still has a little bit of a punk rocker in him. I think he punked all of us, and he's got a little bit of our money in him, and that's why he was able to use that finger the way he did. But that's beside the point. What I'm getting to is some of you are really hardcore about, getting disclosure. Disclosure. Somebody's got to tell me something, goddammit, and somebody's got to tell me sooner or later, or I'm going to blow the hell up. That's not a terrorist threat for any of you guys listening that work for the government. But what I'm saying is that someone contacted me, another person that's on, Facebook that follows or came across a post of UFO Buster Radio sent me a message. His name is Richard Van Steenberg. Richard decided that he was going to put together a disclosure petition. And you know what? I support anybody. Anybody that wants to get down and dirty and, put their name through the mud in order to try to get some kind of information, I support you. But you gotta let me know why. Let me know why it's a good idea. Why is it a good idea to put up another petition? Anyone that's done this whole ufology thing for at least 2 years knows that petitions, they come and go. They get signed up, they get sent away to the government officials, they chop it up, they pretty much have a party and discuss probably in a drunken stupor how they're gonna make sure that you don't get shit you're asking for. And we know these things fail time and time again. However, Richard decided that he's going to take a completely different path. Because I did ask him, I was like, I'll support you, but you gotta tell me why and what angle are we taking here. So actually, I have the website for the petition in the description as well. So you guys got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of clicking to do with this episode. The actual website is Extraterrestrial Disclosure Petition. That's right. He's talking about DETs in this specific petition that he put together, which he says he has over 800 signatures on it. And you know what? Richard, if you're listening, I'm going to sign it myself after I get off of recording this thing. So basically I asked him, what's the deal? How did you come across finding a way that you think is going to actually work this time around where others have failed? So he says the long story short is that he studied the 2 previous disclosure petitions that failed and realized they made 3 major mistakes. And here are the 3 mistakes that Richard pointed out. The first one is they put the petitions on the We the People government petition server, which allowed the government to shut them off. And as soon as they got started, 5 to 12,000 signatures, and I control it. Basically what he's saying is that this petition is not going to go on to the government servers. He's going to do it on the website that's linked in the description. So he's going to have control and no one's going to shut it down. And he wants people to go to that website. Number 2, he says they are asking for ET disclosure, which only solves the being from other planets component. Requiring HET disclosure forces immediate full disclosure of humanoid extraterrestrials living among us now on the planet. So he's saying there's like there's a hole in there somewhere. You know, if you're just asking for ET in general, you're not specific about which kind of ET you're asking for, they'll say you're crazy as hell. We don't know about any ETs that are outside of our solar system or hanging out on Mars or Enceladus or wherever you're at. I mean, he's saying what we need to ask for is for those rubber-dicking aliens who live on the planet itself. Number 3, he says they wanted disclosure of UFOs, but ETs don't fly. They vectate, vector levitation. So the term UFO is not applicable. So basically he's saying, we're really asking for terminology in the previous petitions that offered government agencies and rubber dickers all over the ability to basically skirt around it. You know, they found holes in this and they decided, well, the verbiage is jacked up. It's not what we're looking for. We're going to poke some holes in this and we're going to shut this baby down. And finally, he says the new petition includes all the correct, accurate terminology and concepts to allow the civilians to take back control of the narrative and force disclosure on the government. And basically, the most difficult part is getting Earthlings to sign it so that the mainstream media will start picking up on it. So Richard needs your help. If you have any kind of interest in joining this list, and basically, like he said, we're not asking for ET that's coming in and out, on a TR-3B or whatever the hell they're flying in on, an egg-shaped whatever. He's asking for them to disclose these particular beings who are on the planet right now that apparently the government has been secretly dealing with back and forth, doing their little politicking for technology or whatever it may be. That's the one he's asking for. And he's using terminology that is contemporary, not from like 1935. So if you want to get in on it and get in on this petition, this is the time to do it. Click on the link. I'm going to do it myself. I want to see what the hell happens. I want to track this shit and find out if Richard is going to hit that mark and whether or not the media will pull up on this and publish it. I mean, why not, right? Come on, people. You publish all kind of other shit. Why not this?
Hey guys, this is Marty Angler from Angling Waters Outdoors, and you're listening to my pally, Manny Moonraker, right here on UFO Busted Radio Network. Hey Manny, you know why I fish at night? Can you say UFO? UFO. That's right.
Holy mother of God, I gave you guys a lot of shit that last little segment. It's jam-packed. We are a UFO news deal. I mean, Manny Moonraker is here to give you some news, share some information, get the word out. And just like this survey that happened in Canada, apparently Canadians like to take surveys, and this particular survey is about UFOs, unexplained aerial phenomena. And last September, there were 10 campers in Quebec. And what did they see? Can you imagine listening to UFO Buster Radio what these guys saw? They actually saw a glowing pyramid-shaped object floating above their trailer that came to halt in midair. Now, certainly, the Moonraker and the Moonraker family usually they go camping in luxury condos. We haven't been in a camper yet. I don't know if it'll happen. There is a big chance of being rubber-dicked and probed. But one of these guys, or at least two, I would say at least two, should have been the designated camping driver. So we can assume that 2 out of the 10 were sober. and not, high on something. But the 10 of them said that they watched this pyramid-shaped object float over their camper and basically just chill there, probably looking at them, checking out which one's going to get probed. Then the group says that the object decided to, just stay there for a little bit. It emitted an intense red light. Now, here's the thing. If something's hovering over you, it doesn't look like an airplane, a helicopter, a drone, and it starts emitting a red light, I would get the hell up out of there. Why are you standing there like you're hypnotized by this thing, like those bugs are to those bug zappers? No, get the hell out of Dodge. Don't even pack the shit up. As a matter of fact, if the guy standing next to you is so hypnotized you can't move, leave him there. You need someone to take the probing while you're running. Anyway, so basically a moment later, the light flickered and it flew out of sight. And how do you know what that moment was? It's possible that they were there probably for hours getting probed and they don't remember nothing because they were probably drunk and high and somebody decided not to run. They just all wanted to watch. This unexplained encounter, according to the article, is one of the best documented UFO sightings in Canada last year, 2017. According to the article, last year, over 1,100 people reported seeing unusual lights and shapes in Canada's skies. And according to the annual Canadian UFO survey that's released by Ufology Research of Manitoba, people are pretty much seeing UFOs like crazy, and they're averaging 3 UFOs per day the year of 2017. This was printed on a website belonging to CTV News. And let me tell you, it just shows you, it's not just the US that is seeing UFOs and unexplained objects. I mean, seriously, this thing was a freaking pyramid. Are you kidding me right now? I mean, were they all having the same psychosis? Ask yourself that question. This is a real phenomenon. This is not something that you can just poo-poo away with poutine and just think it's going to disappear, Canada. Come on, get on the ball. Show us what you got. So this survey, again, people answer surveys because it's one of the only ways that they can support something like disclosure, as we saw Richard is doing, because it's important. A lot of people can't have a podcast. They don't want it. They could care less. They're not going to put together a documentary. They're not going to sit around, in the middle of the woods waiting for the UFO to appear. So what can you do? Answer a fucking survey. It's just that simple. Support the cause. Get disclosure. Get something out there. Let's get that information any way we can, by hook or by crook. And that was it. So the link to this article from CTV News is in the description. Like everything else, you guys got homework today, folks. I mean, come on. I mean, let's do this. There are links are all in the description. I thank you for clicking on them. And even if you consider doing it, I thank you anyway. I know life gets in the way sometimes and you got to get things done. And sometimes rubber dicking around on a podcast description may not be the thing that you're looking forward to. However, voting for the podcast awards ends July 31st. Time is a-wasting. We have to get in there and show them that UFO Buster Radio and Manny Moonraker mean business. Again, I thank you guys for listening. You guys are awesome. I'll be back on the next episode. And on the next episode, I'm going to announce what the next MiniDoc is going to be. But if you want to know what it's going to be like, click on the link. Check it out. 10 minutes of your life is all we ask. Ciao.